Hi guys, welcome back. I'm a bit under the weather today. I have been all week, so excuse if I sound a bit rough around the edges. It's because I am. Let's catch you up. This bike's new. You guys haven't seen this bike. The Thunder Race has gone. Basically, I took this in Part X last night for the Thunder Race and 500 cash. So. This is a non-running bike. It hasn't properly run for around 8 months, I believe. It was started just before Christmas, but didn't run very well. So I'm gonna have a good look over this bike. The Suzuki S3650 here. I've got the front brake blocks now. I believe they're the right ones. They're over here. Hopefully they're the right ones. And I've got this new Gunk Ultra engine degreaser here, so I'll do a little review on that. So yes, I've got the logbook back for this now already. I'm going to throw the front pads on and try and get this through for an MOT tomorrow or today even, because that would save a lot of time and hassle. But today's video is actually going to be Jake Carb working on this bike. So Jake Carb is where I get all my parts from. We used to work together on bikes. He does all the jetting, he's the carb man, and this bike may need carbs off today and they may need cleaning out, but they may not. We may be able to run it through, get it up to temperature, and it may clean itself out. So we're going to see how that goes. So yes, so at some point today I'll be swapping over the brake pads and tightening the rear chain, spraying some of that gunk on the bits that need it, and just trying to clean this up enough to get it through for an MOT today or tomorrow. This bike's ready to sell this weekend, and I've got at least 2 definites at the moment. One's Aiden, he bought the Ducati Monster off me a while back, and one's another good friend actually, but as always, just whoever wants it most can have it if it helps them out. Yep, I'm not going to touch the Bandit. I've got my nephew coming tomorrow. He's going to help me out with the Bandit. Honestly, it doesn't need anything. It needs to top up the fuel. I need to respray this rear panel. And there's a small dent here. I've got a dent removal kit and I've got a plunger down there that might even do it. So the Bandit 400 is going to be for tomorrow. I've actually just ordered a dress-up kit for this old Benelli in here. I've gone all black because I love that bike and I've serviced it and it's brilliant. So that bike is going to be black and blue soon. So that's kind of the next week I'll be working on that. So great, yeah, I'm just waiting for Jake. I'll introduce Jake to everyone, and then we're going to be looking at this thing and seeing what we can do. The paintwork's brilliant. I mean, this bike has been looked after. Some of these stickers need removing. I hate old stickers, everyone knows that. But honestly, this has been custom sprayed, I'd say. Once I put a little bit of my cutting compound on it, it's going to come up so well. But like I said, at this stage it doesn't run. Oil looks overfilled. We're going to have to check that out. Too much oil is just as bad as too little. So I'll have a look at that. We might need to drain some out. And when Jake gets here, he'll start working on it, I guess, pulling it apart. We're going to throw some jump leads on it and get that going. Okay guys, so I'm here with Jake Carb on eBay. At this stage I've got a boost box. This battery's completely dead. I'm going to go and get the boost box and we'll just turn it over a few times. You just never know. One thing we need to check first is the oil looks way overfilled, so we need to pop it off the stand, tip it and see how overfilled it is. Too much oil, not good. Too little oil, not good. So we're gonna quickly check the oil, and I'm gonna grab the boost box and we'll just turn this thing over and see if we get lucky at this stage. That won't necessarily be the entire fix, but it's a start. It will need other bits and pieces doing. I'm looking at the rear sprocket. It's pretty large. It's possibly an oversized sprocket, so we'll look into that later. I think this bike's going to be pretty quick once it's up and running. So you're going to see us, we're going to check the oil quick. I'm going to get the boost box. You're going to see us try and fire this thing up without touching it at all. Alright guys, so no mods at this stage. We're just going to hook up the box. Let me get you in a position. Oh, the SV's in the way. Let's try it, and we're just literally going to try and fire this thing up. I mean, it's absolutely high hopes, but I always say that and they always seem to start. Yeah, they did just before Christmas. It's the box. Yeah, let's lay it like this. There you go. Yeah, it's big. There you go, man. Just about. Full choke. Yeah. Key that you took last night when you didn't need to. Oh. Okay. On you, mate. What are the chances? What, shoot. Yeah. Not very high. Not if you can't turn the ignition, no. It's not my fault. Try brake light. Brake light, that's the clutch. No rear brake light.
No, there is.
No rear one.
I know there is. Check.
What do you mean you know there is? I can see it here now.
Because I'm not used to the bloody motorbikes.
What? Go on, fire it up. Switch, Jake, switch. No, switch. On the right, switch.
What?
Start there, a red switch. No, there. Red switch. Wait a minute, is there a fuel switch on this?
Oh, start here, shall I?
Put it on the back stand. Just in case the fuel switched off.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's going just fine.
Oh, here it is. Look, it's off and all. Look, it's here and it's off. Let's go to reserve in case it's low. I mean, it's not.
No, it's going to cut out all crap.
Give it a second, let the fuel go into the carbs.
Yeah.
Lucky we checked that, we could have been turning it over for ages.
No, I know.
With no fuel going in.
So I knew it wasn't me.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't find the red switch.
I'm sorry, but...
Go on, go for it, mate. We should...
Normally, take the side stand down and...
No throttle, mate. It's got the chokes on. It don't sound like it wants to, does it?
I feel like it's slowly going.
Where's the airbox? Get some easy start into it.
No, I reckon. It's not going to start.
Yeah, we kind of know that.
Nah, to be honest.
Oh, it had a kick there. So can you do that? See, can you lift that enough?
I mean, do you want that?
Try and try it. Press the start for a sec. Oh, it does a little bit, but not a lot. Keep going, keep going. It's not enough.
I feel like it's missing something.
It's not keeping out enough fuel.
I just feel like it's missing something.
No, I can see it. I can see it, Jake. It needs the wires. The wires are going uphill, yeah? With a filter.
But it's normally on a suction.
No, it's a pump. But it's going uphill.
Yeah, but normally it depends on the tap. There's two valves there's a suction.
Right, guys, let me show you what we're talking about. In there, see this that's a fuel filter, okay? Now there is some fuel there at the bottom. When we turn it over, not much goes through it. So, I mean, it shouldn't really have an inline filter at this stage. That will restrict the fuel. So my temptation would be to get rid of that and put a new pipe on to help the flow. I think we should whack this tank off and see if there's any flow from the other end going into the carbs anyway. That's our next step.
Shut it off.
Yeah, if you shut it off and we'll pop the tank off. Okay guys, so we're kind of debating now what's going on. We might try and run some fuel straight down into the carbs and see if it fires up. That's probably our best bet. Although I need to go and get some. No, we don't. We'll get some from the tank, and we will make a quick makeshift fuel bottle. So let's try that route just to tell us what's going on with this engine, if it works, if it runs. If it then starts up like that, then we're looking at either a fuel pump problem or the wiring's not quite right, which it doesn't look quite right, the hose pipes. So we'll move on to that. So we're going to make up a makeshift fuel bottle and try and get some fuel straight into the carbs. I've not lost anything.
Won't be motorbike rescue. Motorbike destroyer.
I've talked about blowing up bikes.
I'll keep going.
Look, watch. No way.
Yeah, look, now the fuel's gone.
Yeah, it's gone back. It's gone back through.
No, because they don't come out this side.
It is in that side. You can actually see
Go
it.
tip it upside down, but nothing comes out.
Well, that's because some of it's sucked through now, but it'll come back in a minute. I'm telling you, that's not putting enough fuel through. You'd be nuts not to go.
I don't think it's anything to do with the... I mean, don't get me wrong, you'd probably better off to take it off anyway and just whack it straight on.
Why don't we whack this airbox off, which is a pain.
I mean, to be honest, what we can do is we can take it off there, and that looks like that's been added on anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
Because that's bent down. That's how we left that on though.
Where's that going?
I don't know, that's why I said to leave it on.
Nah, it's alright, I'm good. Don't see it. Why didn't we just get a ratchet?
You have to fast forward this bit, right?
I'll cut loads of it.
Like, just be standing there for 5 minutes working on one bolt.
That's the problem. It's hard to do all that. What I'll do is, let me cut it now. Filter out, it's fairly dirty, but not stupidly. We'll give it a clean at some point or buy a new one. So, should we take...
What do you want to do? Take the carbs out?
Well, you have to, if you take the actual revolves off,
Yeah.
basically, here look, nah, we can get, yeah. No, I can put a wire on there anyway.
Hold on a minute. Oh, alright.
What are you thinking?
No, nothing. For some reason I thought there was a...
Does that fit? Again, it's angle, you know, it's like...
Yeah. I mean, do you want to have a look at the carbs?
What we have to do is... These two hold it on there, them two.
Yeah.
You're meant to pop these out, these grommets. Actually, let me get some Allen keys, we'll do it from the inside. Let's hook up the leads. The fuel pump I've got is brand new.
I don't think you need it. It's broken.
We'll test the fuel pump after.
What, think it's straight?
No, just
Because at the same time, batteries, man, they're so warm.
yeah, they are because of the way they're in. I want to make sure the SV is running so I don't kill the battery. Yeah, we might need to go with this side first, Jake, but it's hard to get into.
Might have to pull the battery out slightly.
It's terrible. Let's try that. Well, it's just going to sit down anyway.
Yeah, it's like maybe you'd have to put it out or something. Yeah, that looks for this side.
The Bandit battery might be easier.
Coffee.
I don't know, it might be, it might not. Okay guys, so we hooked up to the SV battery as the box is low. I need to plug that on overnight. It kind of nearly fired up earlier, so let's see. We're going direct into the carbs at this stage. Swap sides and... Right, go on then.
It's just pissing out.
It might not be sparking.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I told you to stick it in.
Did you see that black smoke? it's not running well.
In fairness, you can start without the evidence.
We'd be nuts to get to this stage and not give it a carb clean.
Okay, I'm up with that.
They can come off, mate. Look, you can take them off. Because we need to assess everything anyway. There you go.
Yeah, no, I just worry about what's going on.
Nah, it's fine. Yeah, it'd be crazy, wouldn't we, not to carb clean it at this stage.
Yeah.
And also the spark plugs. Let's carb clean it and let's clean the spark plugs.
So many.
It's an airline. That's just overflow, to be fair. That's not overly needed.
Yeah. I reckon it's the secondary.
No, that's just that's overflow, right, isn't it? You just put that aside. There. How easy are we? We could actually balance the carbs as well at some point because we've got all the stalks in there.
Yeah.
So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3 from this side, and there's 4. They're quite hard to get into, but we'll manage it.
Why are they? God.
Yeah, I know.
It's
It may as well though, Jake, do it properly and get them off.
Yeah. No, I agree. Because I'm just thinking, before doing all that though, Charlie.
Can't, get to the bottom?
Oh fuck! Do you know what? These carbs are worth shit. Actually. I was looking at stocking these.
Yeah?
Yeah. Sell for like £8 each.
Yeah, of course they do. I think we need to drop some oil. I think the smoke is the oil going into the cylinders.
But you said that.
Yeah. So I think we drop some oil.
It's an oil change.
Let me
Things to do.
let me switch the camera off. Okay guys, so we're gonna whip these carbs off and we're gonna give them a clean so that we know we're in the right direction. We're then gonna plug in the fuel pump and we will show you how to test it. I've done that before on a video. I got a brand new fuel pump indoors, so we could just swap it over, but it may just be that it was restricting with the inline filter and the wires weren't run very well, so we'll check both. Okay guys, so we've loosened the carbs. They're actually loose now. We're going to lift them up, we're going to take the bowls off, clean the jets, spray through the carbs, throw them back on. It's going to be a quick carb clean. We don't know how necessary or unnecessary it is at this stage. Don't know.
What is it attached?
Oh, there's a, what's this hose here? It's this one. I don't know what that is, do you know? Just overflow.
Yeah, I think it's an overflow.
Yeah.
There's one on each side.
Is there? Right, pop it off.
They look like they clip in.
Mine's out. Oh, there's rust in the carb. Did you see that red? Did you?
Nah.
Yeah, there's rust in there. Don't you need the pliers to take the clip off?
No, I'd use my hand.
Yeah. You haven't done it though?
Yeah, not yet. Give me a minute.
Are you doing the right one?
Yeah, of course I think so. Yeah, this one.
Is that one? Yeah, you're doing the wrong one.
Oh, wasn't I doing the right one?
Here, take the clip.
There you go, it's off.
Cool. Alright, so don't tip it too much because we don't want fuel going up into the diaphragms. Did you see the reds come out?
Did you see all the rust?
What, now?
Yeah.
I'm going to give them a tap with a hammer so they don't. trying to ground them off, they're a pain. Oh. These ones are new, these ones, look.
Yeah.
They've been done not that long ago.
Yeah, a year ago. It was in the shop probably.
How do you know it was in the shop?
You said it was in the shop. You get it started.
That's gonna round straight away, man.
Yeah, I thought that. That's why I stopped. Try this.
I need to get some down pressure on it, that's why. There you go, I've got that one. That one's gonna round. I'll put them back here.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
You want to try that one? This is,
hang on, let me try and get some down pressure. Yep, got it.
Nice.
And these two, they're quite new, so they shouldn't be too. They're over torqued though, whoever put them on, way over torqued them.
No, they probably made them lopsided there.
There you go. See what his first bowl's like, it's going to be rusty.
Yeah. Has to,
Should have bought some carb cleaner.
should have. I don't think so. Oh, look.
That's clean.
They're spotless, mate.
So we're just kind of buttoning things up. Carbs have been cleaned, spark plugs have been cleaned, all the fuel lines have been looked at. We're not sure about the fuel lines. We're going to test. There's only one that's actually flowing into the pump, which doesn't make sense to me. But it's fine, we'll test the flow rate from there after. And then we've gone straight to the carbs without the inline fuel filter to help it out basically. I personally still don't think there's enough flow from this pump, and I've got a brand new pump at home, but we'll only know that now when we start it and run it and idle it and, you know, let it kind of do its thing. We need to drop some oil definitely to get the oil under the line, and I think we will be dropping all the oil at some point. I'm only going to drop enough for now to see if this engine does run and ride and idle, and then if it kind of seems okay, we'll drop all of the oil because it's quite black, and we'll fill it up with fresh, and then actually, you know, we're good to go really. So yeah, that's where we are. So guys, it's taking some time, but we are popping all 4 spark plugs out. They are quite black. We've given the carbs a clean. We're taking the inline inline fuel filter out, and we're going to drop some oil. This has got too much oil in it, and we think that's what the smoke was. So it should be sparking better. It should have plenty petrol, and it should the oil level should be correct, so it's not coming out through the exhausts, and it should become a better running bike. Our plan is to actually just throw the petrol tank back on and get the battery off, get the battery on charge, but we will fire it up again using the same battery on the SV to show you guys that it should be slightly better than it was earlier, especially when we drop a little bit of oil. So guys, we've popped the carbs back on. We cleaned each spark plug. We are now running from the petrol pump direct to here without an inline filter to get better flow, and we are going to drain some of the oil. In fact, I'm going to get onto that now, because it's overfilled, and the black smoke coming out the exhaust could be because the spark plugs weren't sparking well enough, could be that it was running particularly rich, or it could be that there's oil up there in them cylinders. So let's drop some of that oil in a minute, and then I think we're just going to throw the tank back on and kind of just expect this thing to start and run and ride really. We might be asking too much, but you don't know till you try. Yep, so as I said, we're just getting the fuel tank sorted and back on. Let's check the fuel rate. So it makes no difference. Why?
I'm feeling that. Normally they're 1.1 valves.
out anyway.
No, but now I think you turn the tap, for instance, is any petrol coming out?
That's what I've been saying to you, that's what I wanted to check.
Yeah. Alright, that's it.
But how does it work with reserve then? I don't think this is running with reserve. So look, Jake, all the way to the left is fuel on, okay? That's all we need to know. All the way to the left. For the camera, all the way to the left, fuel on. Alright, Jake, all the way to the left, fuel on.
Right.
We're kind of good to go there.
Yeah.
Alright, you chuck that on, I'll do this.
Right. That's really delicate, by the way.
Yeah, it was anyway. Yeah, it's fine. So, right, if you hover. I haven't got any wet feet. Oh, it's here. Hang on, Jake, I need to do it with this. Hang on, mate. Give me the. Hang on. That's all right. Right. So I need to do it again. What do you reckon? It's the blue one.
Oh yeah, this is 3.5 litres.
That's tight though. Do we have any extra?
But to be honest,
Yeah.
3.5 would be fine. It's 200ml out.
I'm gonna do it all, Jake. I'm gonna do it all. It's very dark.
Yeah.
Get the camera in. So look, guys, we're draining the oil. It is dark, so we were gonna just tip out enough. But look at that. Sorry, terrible camera angle. I mean, that is really dark. That's pretty bad oil, that. Whole point.
Yeah.
That's loads, isn't it? Look.
Yeah, look at it though.
That's closer to 5 litres.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to tip it back in. Oh no, can I do that? Yeah, I'll tip it back into the same bottle.
Yeah.
But they are great engines. They pull strong.
Yeah, I mean the carbs are brilliant.
Right guys, this bit's easy, we just top up the oil. We'll tip the old oil. No, I haven't. I need to get some good funnels, you know.
I got some good funnels.
Yeah, you got all the stuff, but you didn't bring anything with you, did you?
Yeah, I was rushing this one, man. I woke up like, oh fuck. So I don't have time otherwise. Right now it's 1:45. We'll go get my son soon.
I guess we'll hook up the battery and we'll run it again. We want it to kind of run and idle properly off its own accord after this. Yeah, I'll hold the funnel. You should have made the hole bigger.
She said. It's fine, this does the job, man.
How much was in there?
3.5.
Don't do all of it just in case. We'll check it, yeah? And then we'll top it up as
I
necessary.
was just watching the window.
Yeah, but once you run it, it'll get lower. It will circulate. We didn't actually change the filter on this occasion, did we?
I mean, you can clean them. All they are is mesh.
We can change the filter. I mean, it's not a huge issue. Don't overfill.
What? It's 3.5 litres, like jelly.
So we don't know how much fuel's in the tank.
I was wondering why there was a wire here with nothing attached.
That's alright, we're not bolted down, are we?
Nah, I done the top bit just to stop the tank shaking.
Oh, pop that. No.
But then worst case we might have to go into the...
Right, I'm putting fuel on. So we'll need to see if there's any drips anyway, Jake.
Alright.
Alright, fuel's on.
Alright.
Well, I think fuel's on. Alright guys, so we're jumping way ahead of the game. We think we messed with all the balance screws. We're hoping that we can jump these leads, fire it up, hoping it warms up, and we're going to then balance the carbs as best as we can at this stage. It may or may not even fire up. They're way out of balance at the moment. We might have to bench sync them otherwise, Jake.
Yeah.
Can we not lean this forward or something?
Yeah, I mean...
Because that would be better for the fuel flow anyway.
Yeah.
Let me get, hold the tank a minute, I'll get a tire.
Yeah.
Cool?
Yeah.
Because I need to be able to get in there to do the balancing.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Right, so let me just...
It's gonna be tight.
I just want to find the actual screws. So we've got the middle one there, left and right there. It's going to be quite hard to do this. And then just hook it underneath. Like that. Like that, that's it. There you go. In fact, we can do the same thing there.
Yeah. The problem is though, is
That's
they're
done.
definitely touch.
Yeah, well, it should be fine though. Yeah, see it's better. So guys, we've balanced the carbs. It's running very, very well. There's bits of smoke in there because the oil was overfilled like it has been recently on a few of our bikes, and basically it gets up in the cylinders and it takes a few days to burn out. But we've synchronized the carbs there, we've cleaned them today, and it is running beautifully actually. Jake, give it a rev. But it does need a good old run now just to burn it all out. Right, shut it off, Jake. Great, so we're now just going to be buttoning this up. I'll take the battery home, give it a good charge, and this bike should start and run. So Jake's just, we're actually just properly doing the carbs now, seating them properly, making sure everything's buttoned up because it started and sounded great. We have no concerns about this bike anymore. There might be some wiring stuff, the rear brake didn't come on earlier, but that could just be a battery problem. I'm going to make sure I take this battery home later and fully charge it, and I'll need to fully charge my battery booster box as well. I didn't get round to doing anything on the S3 today, but I've got tomorrow morning, I think. I want to get this through an MOT. I've got people begging me for the S3, kinda. I mean, begging's a bit rude, but I've got lots of people interested in this bike, so I might as well get it through its MOT. I've got the logbook and it's ready to go. Also, with the money raised from the S3 and the Bandit, I'm going to be doing a bike giveaway soon, so we're going to be working on that. Jake's going to be helping me out with that at some point in regards to parts I need and stuff like that, and alarms and anything the bike needs, Jake's going to provide. And then we're going to work out what the rules are of these giveaways, because I have no idea. I don't want to get sued to try and do something, you know, for trying to do something nice, basically. But yeah, I think it will be a 125 bike. I think it will be maybe a cruiser or something half interesting, and we're going to be looking for causes. So you guys have a think about good causes. It can be a charity, it can be a person you know, it can be anything. And then we're going to pick kind of the best 10 causes, and we're going to do it randomly somehow, like maybe out of a hat. It's all going to be genuine. We're not going to be picking people we know or anything. We are just going to look at the best causes, but we need to come up with the guidelines and the rules. The main thing you have to do to win a bike is you have to be subscribed to the channel. So keep with us. We are going to be doing that project very soon. So here we go, guys, the bike's just going back together. Jake's just doing it on his own, yeah. Remember, that goes under.
Yeah, well, it's fucking heavy as well. Oh, I've done it, Charlie. Don't come over now to help, mate. Cheers.
I'll turn the fuel off for a bit. Does the key work in there earlier?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Good.
Phone holder.
Right.
Turn the cord, then dump it down, we've got to take the battery out.
I wasn't going to put it on anyway, I was just putting it back to where it belongs.
Yeah, I mean, we may as well pop the battery out now anyway. Yeah. And I'll show, tomorrow I'll fire it up. So there you go, guys, that's the majority of the work done on the zzr600. Really nice looking bike. It sounded amazing when it revved. I have no doubts it'll start, run and ride perfectly tomorrow. I'm going to charge the battery, and then we do need to look at the wiring though. It had no rear light earlier, but the battery was very low, so that could be the issue. But all we'll be doing is removing some of these stickers. I think, Jake, removing some of these stickers, yeah? Yeah. And polishing it up, MOTing it.
It's like the Monster, no fear stickers.
I quite like these ones, but I quite like them.
Yeah, I'd leave them, like the
that can come off.
The Monster, all the sort of childish.
All the Red Bull, the Ari, that can all come off. No fear can come off. and then it will need a good clean, jet wash clean, and then a polish. But we did so much work today on this bike.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I want to get it warmed up and actually run it.